Welcome back, everyone. I've been looking at the trailer here ever since I hauled them last couple vehicles home, and my floor's not so great on here anymore. Actually, the floor hasn't been great since I've bought it. I should have probably replaced it right away, but I'm really thinking about doing it now. The only problem is, I don't know if you can see it, the trailer's bent. This trailer has a single 6-inch C-channel the whole way front to back, and it also has a second one on the front to right here, and that's right where it's bent. I'm actually thinking about trying to bend the trailer back a little bit and then plating the C-channel. So some of these cross members in here I'll have to cut out. So I'm thinking about doing 5 or 6 feet in here. So that'd be 3 or 4 cross members I'll have to cut out and then weld back in after it's plated. I'll basically be boxing this C-channel in, giving it a little bit more strength in this area. Right here I have some leftover dirt. It's kind of weedy right now, but it's kind of a makeshift loading dock, so I don't have to drag the ramps out when I'm at home. You've probably seen this board flip up. That one ain't so good anymore. Right here is where it's bent. I've already seen some bumper pull trailers that have actually been broke clean off there. So I kind of want to get this taken care of while I'm replacing the deck here, and before it gets too bad. You might wonder, why did I put the skid loader on there? Well, I want to try to straighten this a little bit. This is the closest thing I have to a straight edge handy. See that gap? Yeah, that's still pretty bent there. I don't know any other way to get this out, because I've got 9,000 pounds sitting in front of the bend on jack stands up there, and I've got it supported way on the back end by the backhoe. It's hard to believe some of these are actually held on yet. As rotten as that one is. Got to put it on 3. Something's gonna break. Doesn't look like all that much after you take the skin off. So I'm gonna be cutting a few of these out and I'm gonna plate it. Give it a little extra strength. This is some 6-inch flat. That's the closest I could get to what I needed. So I needed just under 5.5 inches. I'm gonna try cutting this down. All I currently have is a torch, so I made this contraption to try to drag along the side. Once again, it's really dark out. I want to get a little bit more done tonight. Time for the stadium lights. Okay, maybe they're not stadium lights, but they do seem pretty bright. At least it didn't go flying too far. Normally that does that right behind my workbench and it just goes a zing, and I'm in a bad habit with this grinder of not slowing it down before I set it down. Now it's time for a new one. That one's well spent. Well, it seems that if you guys remember from one of my last videos, I have not got any new grinding wheels. and I used the last one up on one of the last projects I did. So this is one of the better ones I have. Hopefully I'll make it through the rest. I gotta try to remember to pick some more up. Geez, how many months ago was that? There, we had just enough grinding wheel left. So I ended up with about 5 3/8 off these 6-inch pieces. Because the webbing here, way on the outside, is 5 1/2, and they're bent a little bit. So by the time I get the piece in there where I want it, there's a ledge for me to weld onto, and it should work real good. I would have never been able to get my welder out this far before, but I picked up just about a 40-foot extension cord for my welder at an auction the other day. So is what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a couple tacks on this just to make sure it doesn't go popping out of place or anything. I'm going to use this piece of key stock and use that as a guide. I want that about flush, and then I'll put a tack. Those shadows there, don't worry about those shadows. Shadow people usually only come out at night here. It doesn't look too bad over here. This side moves a little, so I think that side's going to be good. Make a few adjustments on it and put some tacks on it. This side over here, that actually doesn't look too bad either. I haven't done this on a trailer before, but I have done this on a pickup. When I built my S10 for sled pulling, I did this on the whole frame rail, basically from your toes on back. One continuous piece. I'll get her. I got these things all tacked in. Back the skid loader up as far as I could. Get burning that in. Stuff's gonna get a little bit warm, so I'm gonna put on my mittens. Well, you guys get the point. It's getting late. I'm gonna get some more done on here, bring you back next time I get to work on it. Well, it is the next day. Last night I got those pieces all finished welded in. Got them marked where the cross members go. Went and trued up the cross members with the chop saw. And time to get them put in, so I can get the skid loader off, change the rest of these boards. But before I put in the cross members, I have something else I want to show you. See if you guys can guess what they're for. Can anyone guess in the comments what these things here are for? And if you can, tell me where I got them. Some of you guys might be thinking, well, what the hell, you're crazy. Why'd you just weld them things on there? Well, I'm not done with them, but I am done with the other side. I'll show you that in a minute. Then it'll all be clear to you. Oh look, he's got the wood clamps out. See, by putting these wood clamps, these boards with these wood clamps on here, basically I can go and get it to rest on there. Get the board to rest on here and up there, be clamped tight on here. And that holds the cross member for me so I can get it right where it needs to be. And that's not going anywhere. Now I can tack that in place. I think you guys get the point with the welding there. So have you figured out what these are for yet? Well, there they are, the finished product on that side. See all these swirl marks? Those swirl marks come from the tracks. Believe it or not, but the tracks are actually wider than this opening. These fenders actually do a really good job. They're bent up a little bit, but it's been quite a few years of going on and off with this skid steer. So what it's doing is it's pushing this in. So these pieces are to help strengthen that, so it doesn't push the fenders in so much. That piece right there, that could be a lot heavier duty. And the big reason why I don't want it pushing in, because there's not much clearance back here. You know how I know there's not much clearance back here? Well, right now I can get my hand in there, so it's pretty good. But when it gets all bent up, it starts rubbing on the tire. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's from rubbing on the inner fender skirt. That's the only tire that I've seen rubbing like that. And part of the problem with that is, for some reason, these wheels are different offset. You can see right here. This is a 3 3/4 offset. Backspace, I think is the right word. And this is more like 3 1/4. So this one actually sticks out a little further. And you can see that right here. I don't know why, but both the wheels on the front axle are like those, and both of them on the rear axle are like those. It's the way it's been since I bought it. Some kind of screw up at the manufacturer. They look like they're probably the same brand and stuff, just a little different offset. I got them cross members all finished welded in. They look like a bunch of chickens were roosting up there. I think it should hold though. Now, to finish off what I started here. As you guys can see here, the tires have rubbed a little bit. This side isn't as bad as the other side, but I have to beat that stuff all back. And you might be able to pick it up on the camera now, but right here, that's where the bend was. You can see there's kind of a line there and stuff. Once you start getting them close, like this one, then you can go put a couple welds on there to hold that in place. Trying to pop this out a little bit first. Hey, where are you going? It's kind of like an oil can. Have you ever seen those mold oil cans like doing, doing, doing? got pretty much all the welding done for tonight. Hopefully tomorrow can put some boards on here. It's getting late out, guys. Moment of truth here. I gotta get the skid steer off the trailer. Time to see if my chicken scratch holds. Went through down these planks just to help spread it out a little bit. Made it off. I think it might just hold. Some of these have a little bit of warpage to it, but that's to be expected. It's touching front and rear. So out comes the welding clamps. I mean, wood clamps. Yeah, wood clamps. That's right. Still a little gap in the middle there. I should be able to slide these around and get some push on it. Got to try to get these straight. Got to try to get these started somewhat straight, otherwise they'll all be off. Oh, that's gonna look good. I get some deck screws here. Takes a 3/16 bit. That must be my last one. I had to tear apart the shop to find it. That's not long enough. Well, gotta have a mistake on every project, right? I don't think 3/16 is quite gonna do it for this job. This stuff's too thick. Gonna grab the next size. Didn't take much off. That still doesn't go. Okay, let's try this again. Well, doesn't look pretty. It's in there. Broke the bit. Found another bit. Well, I had something come up and, well, it's not hot out anymore. It's also dark. So, I'm gonna get after this and get her done. I'm sick of working on this. And there you go, guys. My trailer's all fixed back up. Looks pretty good. Should look good for a few years. You probably can't tell, but I got most of that bend out. And then for the guys that stuck around and didn't figure out what those pieces are from, right there, that is the remnants of a Lastech mower blade. Well, there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. This is going to be a fun one to edit. Like, share, and subscribe. Take care and God bless. You want to run them?